Okay, drummers, we're ready. If you'd all stand, please. Our grand entry is led by Linda King and Octave Finley. Our drum group is the Chief Cliff Singers. Oh, thank you, Yamansu. Thank you. You'd all remain standing, please, and we have an opening prayer by Eli Kwikwasu, our Salish language teacher and Salish cultural leader. Eli?
Lemdom Spesia. That's Squext. Never been to a graduation this early in the morning. But means the air is still clean. We can still breathe fairly well this morning. We ask our Creator to bless all of our graduates, not only for this place here for SKC, but for other graduates. For all the families, people that come here to watch whoever is graduating this morning. It's a great step for you. A lot of us went through where you're at today. And this morning, we ask our Creator to look down on you, look down on all of us. As we gather this morning, good to hear the drum group, being led by Mikey. I didn't know how I was supposed to do invocation this morning, but I was being a little bit late. But thank you for Joe, staff, faculty, all the ones that worked so hard for you. You worked for yourselves to get to where you are. And we ask our Creator, our Korlan Soten, our Shten Soten, for a direction to where you're not going to stop just because you're graduating today. Continue your graduation stuff to stay ahead of yourself. May you choose to where you're going to go. May you choose to where you're going to continue to further your education. I know some of us, we get degrees in some things, but we never use it. We go somewhere else and do other stuff. Use it, and don't forget what you went to school for. Lamlam Shquin Kodan Soten Quinch and Soten Soholiat Hot Squax took us Lamtum took us Sequel. Esiatus Sats Arts Amy, yet Senor Nonton, yet Snats Arts Amy, yet as Kadeholo. Esiakex Choch Awex Choch Austum Committed Sich Twenties, looks to your nose. The title sleep. Choch Awex what is Yap Cast and a Wewe. That is Wekas at Hope, that's Wekas Ade, that's the Wekas horse, that's jet. Hekas and a Wewe to it to me. Hekas Lemtum was Yatu. Stammet is to tell us to Modle West Hoy, squash Atsachams, as Yatus schools. Commedia star for those yet what's heart, as Yatu Kex school, as Yatu Kex Hoy Lewis, Ekest and Wewe. Siaks and Lord opposite with generous to win it and Chowman. Lemdom the Queen Kodan Soten.
You may be seated. I'd like to introduce our chairman of our tribe, also a member of our board, past chair of our board. He's been with the college for a long time, many years. He served on our board. Now he serves as the chairman of the tribal council, and he's taken time to be over here and give us a welcome. So I'd like to present to you Ernest Bud Moran.
Good morning. You know, I've been on the board, I think, for the past 10 years here at Salish Kootenai College, and I've seen a lot of graduating classes come through. But by far, this is the largest graduating class in those 10 years. And I would like to just make a note of that, because that means we're growing. Education is something that we're all addressing. Anyway, I'd like to, it's an honor to be here to welcome all of you folks. Our distinguished guest, our President Joe McDonald, it's one of those eras where, like Alec just mentioned, that what we have to do is practice what we learn. I know there are other tribal leaders in the audience, community leaders. I'd like to welcome them also. Many of you students have made our homeland, your home for the past 4 or 5 years. I'm sure many of you are eager to go home and show your communities what you have learned and practice your education, like Alec mentioned. Don't forget what you came to school for. I see success for you graduates within your tribal communities that you will be serving, and the communities and the other communities that the graduates will be serving, the non-members. We are fortunate. You graduates with your educational achievements are our leaders of tomorrow. When you return to your communities and apply your knowledge and talents, people will be better served because of your accomplishments. You graduates are here today because you all have desire to be successful in life, and education is the first step. Part of your success is due to the teamwork and dedication of the Salish Kootenai College team and faculty under the direction of President Dr. Joe McDonald. We are very proud of our successes here at Salish Kootenai College. The diplomas earned today are significant. We have individuals here today who are the first in their family to earn a college degree. This is a success for you and your family. I applaud your hard work and decision to attend Salish Kootenai College. Today takes me back to my formal academic years, working and taking college classes. As my careers have changed, I have learned to appreciate the value of lifelong learning. I believe a person will learn something every day if they keep their eyes and ears open. Every day, there's an opportunity to learn something new. Your college experience is just the beginning. It is not an end. There are many roads to travel as you serve your community and work to reach your full potential. I encourage you to continue in lifelong learning. Use your degree to expand your opportunity to learn more. Make a commitment to learning through classes, learning on the job, reading, studying, and being open to new experiences. With a degree, your ability to compete for jobs is improved. More and more jobs require education beyond high school. College degrees have more jobs to choose. College graduates have more jobs to choose from than those that don't pursue education beyond high school. They can earn more money. A person who goes to college usually earns more than a person who doesn't. Those with a bachelor's degree has a starting salary of larger than those that don't. While the benefits of more job opportunities and higher pay are important, the most important benefit is that knowledge is power. As Indian people, we need to use knowledge as a tool to accomplish the vision of our ancestors. With knowledge, we can all work to improve the lives of our friends, our families, and our great nation. Bettering yourselves and taking control of your future only stands to make your life better and happier. I congratulate all of you and your families for the sacrifice that it took to get here. I know these sacrifices are considerable. I wish you all and your families much success in the educational path. Remember, this is just the beginning. Alex mentioned that in his invocation this morning, that this is just the beginning. You graduates, I was going to say kids, but I see a lot of elder graduates out there, which I would like to congratulate. On behalf of the Tribal Council, we extend our thanks and appreciation to the faculty, leadership, and most of all to the graduates for your hard work and dedication and wise choices. And I'd like to have a hand for all these graduates.
I'd like at this time to introduce our Student Senate President, Angie Red Star. Andy's been a very active student, played on our basketball teams, and been very active in student government. She's from the Colville tribe, and I'd like to present Angie Red Star.
Good morning, and congratulations to the 2010 graduates, and welcome their supporters. First off, I would like to read a poem written by my cousin from the Colville Res. His name is Leonard Simpson Jr., and it starts out, congratulations. A moment worked for leading and unexplored days to find. Here's a special place to cherish hope and courage to rise. Saluting one another with immense joy so impossible to hide. Futures devised from attentive lives when nurturing unwinds. Eyes shine loud and proud, focused on an earned spot of time. A beautiful mile maker reached when inspired dreams combine. Together, a welcome collective of unedited smiles and cries. Plateaus shared before seeking a stretch of sky to climb. Trigger design on display to make hearts light and free. In middle of a juncture meant to be everything it seems. A memory given and received as nothing except pristine. From this feeling and ease travels there is no reprieve. Success achieved and allowed to be itself in all its accolades. Getting here deserves acknowledgement to stand so brave. Good times are rare to prepare in ways to expand those days. In accordance to an appreciative crowd, you SKC graduates have earned your place. And so with that, as you leave here today, just keep in mind your motto, our motto, the SKC motto, which is education, leadership, and wisdom. Take the education you received here today and help inspire others to be better and help your communities and families. As for leadership, use your knowledge that you've gained here to lead everybody in every opportunity you have after this. And take example. Our great leaders like Joe McDonald and Alice Oxley, they'll be leaving us, but they've started something so great here, so take what you have here and do something good for your people and your community. And lastly, wisdom. Use your new understandings and be an example for your families, communities, and most of all, yourselves. Thank you.
I see by the program I was to give you a welcome, so welcome. I really would like to thank all the families and friends that have come to the graduation to honor these people, and special thanks to Octav and Linda here for leading the graduates in. Special thanks to the drummers for taking their time. Yaman Sood is going to do the recessional. Chief Cliff brought the graduates in. I'd like to also thank all those that have helped arrange this graduation, the enrollment services people, Jackie and Elaine there, and Cleo around here marshaling, getting us all in order. We have our board members are listed on the back of your program. Our board chair is Bob Foudy. I don't know if Bob is here. Are you, Bob? If you are, you're supposed to be up here. Bud Moran, who just gave us our welcome. Patty Stevens, sitting in the front row here. Patty, would you wave? Judy Gobert, right here in the front row. Jim Durgalow, I know, is here someplace. Where are you, Jim? Someplace. Oh, okay, there he is, Jim. And then we have Zane Kelly and Renee Pierre. So would you give those people a warm applause, please? And our physical plant people for setting this all up, we really thank them. And then our administrative team of Lon Whitaker here and Carmen Taylor and my assistant Anita Big Spring for all their help. So that's been very good. It's really an honor to introduce our speaker, Jeff Kaufman. I've known Jeff for the past 9 years. He served on our College Fund board, American Indian College Fund. He's given time and energy to that board. That board has raised money. They set a goal each year of somewhere in the neighborhood of $10 million, $10 to $12 million, and then they go about raising it. And Jeff has been on that board for the past 9 years, and they've raised it every year. Each school gets $100,000 to distribute for scholarships. So I know probably many of you in this graduating class have gotten those scholarships somewhere along the way. And so we owe it to people like Jeff that have donate their time. They're from the private sector. They use their connections and donate their time. So it's very good. Jeff is he was the president of Safeco Insurance, and he was president of a department of Safeco. He was the vice president of sales, had over 30,000 employees that he supervised. In addition, he was a group vice president for leadership and performance improvement. And he's now president of his family's own foundation, the Full Circle Foundation. He and his wife Susan are retired and living in Bozeman. And I really thank Jeff for taking time to come here and meet our graduating class. And so it's a pleasure to present to you a friend of ours. Said it's his first graduation he's been to at a tribal college. And so let's greet Jeff Kaufman.
I'm a little taller than Joe is, so I have to move this up a little bit. Good morning. It's beyond the privilege and an honor for me to spend time with you today. What Joe didn't tell you is I grew up in Poplar, Montana. I grew up in Sioux country, and I've had a long connection with Indian people. My mother raised 22 American Indian kids as foster children, 3 of which have now become adopted brothers in our family. So I've had a long connection. In doing college fund work for the last 9 years, I've been to lots of colleges, but I had never been to SKC, and this is the first graduation that I've actually got to be involved in. And I will tell you, as an outsider looking in, this is a pretty awesome thing. You don't see this in other graduations because I've been to several. For 35 years, I was a corporate speaker, gave lots of corporate speeches. I didn't get the joy of the children in the audience as you speak. I didn't get the joy of hearing a little kid yell for mom or laugh or run down the aisle. And I will tell you, it kind of lifts my heart. This is a very cool place to be. Very cool place to be. Graduates, I want you to know you're a difficult audience to talk to because I have to have a conversation with you while hundreds of other people sit around and listen to me. I feel like I'm getting watched very closely as I coach you. So we'll work our way through that. But graduates, speaking to you very directly right off the bat, I want to tell you congratulations. You have done something that hasn't occurred in lots of parts of this community or this world or your family. You should feel very good about that. But I want to remind you Most of you have only lived a fraction of your lives. This is a step in a journey. And I want to remind you this is a step in a journey. Now, graduates, 40 years ago when I was in a class just like this at Dickinson State College in North Dakota, I missed a couple of things. I missed the fact that while I had done all the work to get my degree, I missed the fact that in the audience were my mother and father sitting there with their 8th grade educations. I missed the fact that my 2 younger sisters were there. I missed the fact that I was a role model for them. I missed the fact that a lot of the teachers at Dickinson State that had helped me become a young man and helped me get a degree were there, and I didn't take time to thank them. I remember walking across the stage and seeing Morris Martin, my wrestling coach, who had become a father figure to me. And I missed the time to walk up to Morris Martin and say, thank you for helping me achieve this. So graduates, I'm asking you to do something with me. Don't move. Do me a favor. Look up in the audience, find somebody that you know has helped you get here, give them a wave, a point, and maybe a little bit of a round of applause. Would you do that for me, please? Find somebody. Tell them thank you. Thank you. When I talked to Joe about 4 weeks ago about what I should talk about, he actually gave me a couple words of advice. The first thing he said was, Jeff, give them 3 or 4 things that help you be successful, because I have had a blessed life. But he went on to say, you know, Jeff, I have lots of big-name speakers. I have congressmen and senators. He said, the problem with those speakers is sometimes they give a talk, and when they're done, nobody can tell you what they said. I took that as somewhat of a challenge. So graduates, I'm going to ask you to take one more lesson before you get your diploma. I want to try to teach you some things about leadership. 4 simple things, because they've helped me enormously as I progress through my career. Now, I keep referring to leadership, and graduates, I want you to know that a person like me views you as a leader. Trust me, people in the audience view you as a leader. You already have leadership positions in this community, and you will have more as you grow and mature. Now, let me give you a couple ways to think about that. How many of you have brothers or sisters or nephews or cousins that are in the audience watching you right now? They came here because you have a leadership role in their lives. They already view you as a leader. How many of you volunteer in the community for when things need to get done, community or the college? When you do that, you're a leader. Some of you have relationships in churches. That's a leadership role. Some of you are already parents or want to be parents. That's the greatest leadership role of all. So graduates, in talking to you very specifically, I want to talk to you about leadership. You already have roles, and I'm one of the people in the crowd who thinks you will have lots more roles. Now, for 20 years, I've been writing down leadership rules. In 1992, I wrote my first one. I had been quite successful corporately, but I thought there was something more in life. I started writing down leadership rules that I thought could help people live and work. I write them as I live them. Last fall, I wrote number 20. I wrote number 20 after losing 5 members of my immediate family last year. My mother, my little sister, 2 favorite cousins, and my favorite uncle. I wrote Rule 20 about sometimes you have to lead through pain. We don't have time for me to cover all 20 leadership lessons with you today, but I did handpick 4. By the way, graduates, I've talked to the faculty. If you don't learn these 4, no diploma today. No powwow, nothing. So the faculty's watching you very carefully. If it looks like you're learning this thing, you're going to get to walk up on the stage. If not, out the door. So have we got a deal? Now the rest of you, supporters, you know when they're faking it. So if you see somebody faking it, would you raise your hand and we'll single them out and embarrass them in public? I want to teach you 4 leadership rules. The very first rule I want to teach you is the first one I wrote down in 1992. And the leadership rule says this. It says, great leaders do what they say they will do. That's the most important rule I teach any leadership group. Great leaders do what they say they will do. The reason that's important, graduates, is that's how you build trust with people. If you ever want to become a respected elder, if you ever want to become chairman of the tribe, if you ever want to run SKC College, if you ever want to be a successful husband or wife or parent, the people you deal with will have to trust you. Rule number one, and you are being watched, remember this, do what you say you will do. Build trust with people. Does that make sense? Rule number two, the greatest leaders I have known live their lives as though they are always under construction. In other words, they're never really a finished product. That's important because the skills you have today, the skills you will graduate with today, are really good for today. But the way the world is changing right now, the speed of change, the skills you have today will not be enough 5 years from now. The relationship you have with your wife or husband or girlfriend or boyfriend today is probably very good today. But over the next 5 or 10 years, both of you will change a bit. You will have to alter yourself to maintain the happiness you currently enjoy. Greatest leaders I know hold themselves in a way that they are always under construction. Rule number one, do what you say you're going to do. Rule number two, hold yourself under construction. Number three, closely related to rule number two, the greatest leaders I have known have constantly raised the bar on themselves. They've never let themselves just be here too long. In fact, if they were in one place too long, they worry about it because they always want to raise the bar on themselves. Now, here's what that looks like. If you end up owning your own business, you will want to have a more successful business every year. If you don't, competitors will take your business away from you. If you're in a marriage, you should work on being a better spouse over time. If you're a parent, trust me, the skills you have today to raise a 4-year-old are not going to be adequate to raise a 16-year-old with a driver's license. Rule number one, watch them, faculty, see if they're getting this. Do what you say you're going to do. Rule number two, hold yourself under construction. Rule number three, always raise the bar on yourself. The fourth rule I'll give you. Any of you could build a pretty strong case that your road here has been all uphill and over a lot of rough roads. We could all build a case that our road to where we are was a lot tougher than yours. We could all build that case. But we all have to realize that whether or not we realize that we have been blessed, and we in fact are privileged, it wouldn't take long for me to go find people who have it a lot worse off than you do. And great leaders understand that it's a privilege to be called a leader. It's a privilege to be able to have an impact on somebody's life. And rule number four is this: the greatest leaders I know make the world a better place. The greatest leaders I know constantly think about how they can make the world or their community a better place. It's easy to find somebody who's in need. It's easy to find somebody who needs help. It's easy to find something that needs to be fixed. The best leaders I know spend time thinking about how to make the world a better place. You see, a man or a woman is not judged by how tall they are or how many possessions they have. Instead, they are judged by how often they bend to help, to lift, to support, to teach, and to look into the eyes of a child. The greatest leaders I know focus on making the world a better place. Now, this is the last quiz. Your diploma is banging on this one. You got this one? Rule number one, do what you say you're going to do. Rule number two, hold yourself under construction. Rule number three, always raise the bar on yourself. And rule number four, make the world a better place. Got that? All right, we'll have to talk to the faculty, see if we got to withhold any diplomas or anything. One more thing as I close. I think people like you and people like me and quite frankly everybody in the audience has to be aware sometimes of how we define success. Because trust me, I want you as graduates to become successful. We all do. But I want to make sure you think about what is success. Is it money? Is it fame? Is it a big house? Is it a brand new 3/4-ton diesel pickup? What is success? And I'm going to ask you some questions to give you an idea how to think about this. Name the World Series champion of 2005. See, the media would say that was outstanding success. Name the National Basketball Association champion of 2006. Who won the Oscar in 2008 for Best Actress or for Best Actor? You see, if you're like me, you don't remember. But if you watch the media, the newspapers, the TVs, and read People magazine, they would say that that is really, really, really success. Here's a different set of questions. Name a teacher who in your lifetime so far has deeply impacted you on your journey. Second question. Name a relative who whenever you see them, they seem to lift you up and make you want to do even more. And here's the last question. Name a friend who would do anything for you any time of day. All you would have to do is simply call them. Now, if you're like me, you knew none of the first quiz answers. True or false? If you're like me, you knew answers to all the second set of questions, and in fact, thinking about those people put a smile on your face. True or false? So here's the wraparound lesson. All right? Do what you say you're going to do, be under construction, raise the bar on yourself, make the world a better place, and understand that people like me wish nothing more for you than outrageous success. But it's more important for you to also want to become significant in the world. When you leave this world, I hope that people talk about what you gave them, how you lifted them up, how you helped them become more than they could have been without you in their life. Graduates, congratulations. Supporters, thank you. By the way, supporters, they're not done needing your help yet. They're not done. This is just a step on their journey. Thank you for your time.
Okay, good lesson, Jeff. It's a pleasure now to recognize a Teacher of the Year. We have a donor that gives money to the American Indian College Fund, and each college has an opportunity to name a Teacher of the Year. The College Fund awards the Teacher of the Year a check for $500. This year's recipient is Elik Kwikwisu. So Elik, would you come up here, please? Elik, whoa, a standing ovation, Elik. How about that? It was about 1981 when Elik came to us from above. He was working for the tribal program, and they're insulating the ceiling in our first college building. My wife was in the library, and Elik came down through the ceiling. He'd been here ever since. He started as teaching cultural classes for us. Then he got his building trade certificate. He became a teaching assistant in carpentry and a carpentry leader. But due to health reasons 9 years ago, Elik had to give up teaching carpentry, and it was something he dearly loved doing. But he transferred his teaching work to Salish language and culture. He teaches language, Salish hymns, drumming, singing, drum making, stick games, other parts of Salish culture and the Salish cultural way of life. Elik was born into a Salish-speaking home where English was a second language. He's recognized by Salish elders as a very good speaker of the language. He's got a strong voice, a passion for teaching, a great sense of humor, and compassion for students, both Indian and non-Indian. Elik is an accomplished powwow dancer. He's a strong voice for leading songs at the drum. He's often the powwow announcer. Tonight, if you come, he'll be announcing our graduation powwow, and it's just wonderful to have him with us. It's a pleasure tonight to recognize you, Alec, as our Teacher of the Year and award you this certificate. Nice big certificate of achievement and a check for $500. Hope it doesn't bounce.
Some of those ain't true. I remember when we had our, I think it was a fun day or something that we had in the Michelle building, and we was bidding on pies and whatever. But Joe bought me, put a pie in my face, and I ended up buying Joe throw a pie in his face. And somebody else threw a pie in my face, and I said, it's my chance. Jerry Slater told me, go for it. And I just took that pie and I put it in his face, and I just turned it all over his face. I really didn't know who it was. I didn't think it was Joe. And as soon as I'd done that, and he come around the corner and said, Alec, today's your last day. But it's a great honor to receive such an achievement. I was one of the first students in 1977. I was a building trades student for, I think I graduated in 85. Took me those many years to get a one-year certificate. Hey. But it's been good. It's good to work for SKC. Like always, I'd never be ashamed to say I work for Salish Kootenai College. Beautiful place, good place to work, good people to work with. And it's really enjoyable that I work with such good people. We have some great students. Some of my students would make me really, really happy if some of them would come and finish their tests, take their tests, not make me wait. And it's really been an enjoyable time teaching here. I've been here for too long. I just keep thinking about moving on, doing something else. But it's you, beautiful students, beautiful people. The people I work with keeps me here. Lamdach.
Each year we honor people in our community with honorary degrees, people that have contributed to our tribe, done things that reflects positively on our tribe, helped us maintain the culture. And so this year we're honoring two people, and Pat Pear and Lucy. And we want to start at first with Pat. So if you'd come up stage here, Patrick. Just steps right around there, Pat, or you, oh, look at that young fellow, step right up. You betcha. In 1929, Indian people had officially been citizens of the United States for 5 years. Congress had passed another immigration act, like they're doing now. Herbert Hoover was our president, and the stock market crashed. The Federal Power Commission was a year away from granting a license to Montana Power to build Kerr Dam. And at Camas Prairie, Patlick Pierre was born to Margaret Tennis and St. Peter Pierre, Saint-Pierre Pierre. Pat's grandmother that helped raise him was Louise Mary Rattlesnake. His grandfather, Saint-Pierre Pierre. Have I got that right, Pat? Kind of, not really. Patlick grew up on Camas Prairie, land that had always been known as home to the Pondere people. Salish was a language spoken at home. Patlick was raised with the culture and traditions of his relatives and ancestors. As a young boy, he developed a deep love and sense of responsibility for his homeland. His knowledge of reservation landscapes, plant, and animal communities would play an important role in his life. As a teenager, Pat was ahead of his time. He transformed his car into a truck and began recycling tires. While recycling today is a common practice, Pat was doing it before recycling centers had even been imagined. Hard work was the way of life for Pat. At the age of 17, he was hired at a sawmill to stack lumber. His work in the woods and mills continued as he married and raised a family. His career transformed from laboring to thinking, and he ran the tribe's elders program for years, providing exemplary service to many, many elders. He taught hymns at Salish Kootenai College, and his instruction influenced the community in their participation at wakes and at funerals. Patlick's spiritual instruction expanded, and for years he served his community as a pastor and was known to deliver his sermons in the Salish language. He continued to support his community through his dedication to the Salish and Pend d'Oreille Cultural Committee, where he served as a longtime member of the Elders Advisory Program. In 2002, he began to work at the Nikusim School as a Salish language instructor, and he's doing that today, and he says he's going to do it for the rest of his life. Recently, the tribe appointed Pat as a member of the Water Negotiations Board. The value of his presence and tribal perspective, he provides immeasurable support for them. And he often brings students from the Nikusim School to observe the tribal government and to build their understanding of tribal sovereignty. Today, Pat is not only a grandparent and a great-grandparent within his family, but also to the children at Nikusim and many people throughout Indian country. If you travel the Powwow Highway, you often hear people address him as Uncle Pat or Grandpa Pat. He's given time to many young people, opening his home and heart to share traditional knowledge to help them know what it means to be Salish or Pend d'Oreille. At the age of 81, Pat has given much and is committed to give more. He's not slowed down with work. He continues to cut his own wood, can outwork many young men. His leadership and activism for tribal sovereignty calls us all to step forward. His intellect and wisdom set a standard for us to aspire to. So in recognition of that, Pat, we'd like to present you this honorary degree in Native American Studies. Congratulations.
I'd like to just say a few words. Last time I got up to the mic, Joe said he only got 10 minutes. I said I usually talk for 2 or 3 hours. So give me 45 minutes. I want to thank Joe and the Salish Kootenai College for this honor. It is truly a great honor to stand here before such a distinguished bunch of people. I want to start this off with Hesquex Pesia, Skali, Kizuk Yukit Whitnam Aksmaknik, and to the rest of you, good morning. One of the greatest things that you find in life is to be who you are, to live that life that the Creator has handed to you, and to live it to the fullest. Whatever the potential might be, it's your life. You have a path set before you. Follow that path. Sometimes you want to wander away from the path. to look at the glitter and the glare on the side. Never mind the glitter and the glare. Follow your path. Some of you that are graduates today, you have your path set before you. To those of you that going home to your places where you come from, the reservations, don't ever walk with your head down. Walk tall and proud. Proud of your achievements in life. And to follow your goal in life. To achieve that goal in life. I have about 81 years of walking upon the face of this earth. And I can truly say that I've walked with kindness and tenderness to the face of Mother Earth. She is our provider of all things. So we honor her greatly. And I want to just encourage all of you graduates today, whatever your goal might be in life, remember that light shines before you always. And I want to thank each and every one that's present here today to honor you and us that have come together for this great time. I speak my language, I teach it every day of the week, every night, every time, every waking hour. I want our language to come back. I want our children to have their identity in place as they grow and they come to the place where you're at, that they will know exactly who they are and where they come from. So today I want to thank each and every one of you. And I want to thank Salish Kootenai College for this great honor to stand before you this morning. Lamlam Specia.
Our next recipient is Lucy Tennis-Kayai. Lucy Tennis-Kayai was born December 5th, 1921 in Tobacco Plains, Eureka, Montana, to Sam Tennis and Ann Phillip. Lucy married Paul Auld and had 2 children. Later they separated and she married Louis Kayai. Together they had 13 children, and they were married for 46 years until Louis' death in 1991. Lucy is acknowledged for her lifelong work and contributions in preserving the culture, the language, and the traditions of the Kootenai people. As was customary in her day, Lucy's first language was Kootenai, and she learned to speak English while attending school at St. Eugene's Mission. Lucy was raised according to the customs and the traditions of the Kootenai people. As a young girl, she traveled annually with her mother, maternal grandmother, and aunt to different habitat sites according to the seasons, where they gathered roots in Tobacco Plains, berries in West Fisher, to name a few of the places. She also gathered aknak, Indian licorice, with her grandmother on Wild Horse Island, and other traditional plants and roots at various gathering locations within the Flathead Reservation boundaries and Aboriginal territories. Lucy is one of the first teachers to teach language classes at the Elmo School. She also worked for the Kootenai Cultural Committee, where she assisted with the first publication of the Kootenai Dictionary. She quickly adapted to the alphabet and developed proficient skills in spelling and reading of her language. She currently serves on the Kootenai Elders Advisory Committee. Lucy has shared her life experiences and stories passed down from her parents and grandparents regarding the culture and the history of her people. She has contributed numerous stories pertaining to the history of the Kootenai people to the Kootenai Cultural Committee, the Oral History Project, and the Tribal Preservation Office. Lucy's work also includes being one of the interveners in the Kootenai Falls case with the Kootenai Tribe of Idaho and our tribe against the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission when they were going to build a dam at Kootenai Falls. Each year, she participates in the Kootenai Cultural Committee's annual language and ancestral skills encampment and instructs traditional Kootenai songs, which includes the language. Lucy instructs participants to make traditional sewing kits, moccasins, bread, bannock bread, and the traditional katamana. All right, I burned that, Vernon. Dolls that she also participates in the People's Center Native American Week, where she teaches school children and teachers how to construct the traditional dolls. She is a teacher to the Ronan School District students, grades 4 through 6. Her skills include tanning hides, making traditional buckskin dresses, wing dresses, moccasins, beadwork, traditional men's clothing. Lucy has 30 grandchildren, 31 great-grandchildren, 3 great-great-grandchildren who keep her active and good company. One of her grandsons said this is his grandma. She's the best player and singer ever, referring to when they pair up to play stick game. She's the backbone of her family. She, in the traditional ways of upbringing, and make her a walking, talking history, as she is knowledgeable in song, language, and history. She has a lot of patience to teach, and she knows many songs that forgotten that past elders have handed down. She's a great teacher, and she's a great singer, and this person said she learns from her every day. So, Lucy, it's a wonderful honor to present to you this honorary degree.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here today. And I'm sure glad all these people recognize me. Yeah. And I'm sure glad I could make it today. Last time I couldn't come. I wasn't feeling good, but today I feel great. Thank you.
I'd like to present Carmen Taylor, our Vice President for Academic Affairs. She's going to present the class. Carmen?
Now comes the great part. But you have to be patient for just one more minute. It would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge the excellent, outstanding faculty and staff at Salish Kootenai College that have supported in so many ways these students. So I'd like to ask the faculty and the staff of Salish Kootenai College to stand. Thank you. Now the moment you've all been waiting for. SKC, Board of Directors, families, friends, distinguished guests. Having met all of the requirements of their certificates and their degrees, I'm very honored to present the Salish Kootenai College class of 2010.
Lana Allen, Bachelor of Social Work. Amanda Irvin Louie, Bachelor of Social Work. Dennis Bighorn, Bachelor of Social Work. You must have been nervous. Is it Moran? Yeah. Patty J. Murrin, Bachelor of Social Work. Nathan S. DeRouche, Bachelor of Social Work. William A. Schwartz, Bachelor of Social Work. Kai Veronica Soldano, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Margaret A. Martineau, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Lauren Gail Arnaud, Associate of Science, Nursing. Starlet Y. Brewer, Associate of Science, Nursing. Jamie Lynn Eckern, Associate of Science, Nursing. Bronwyn Hulbert, Associate of Science, Nursing. Kendra L. Ryan Lesoter, Associate of Science, Nursing. Randy Ryan Lesoter, Associate of Science, Nursing. Heather Lanela Schilt, Associate of Science, Nursing. Katie Marie Boggs, Associate of Science, Nursing. Jamie L. Cahoon, Associate of Science, Nursing. Stephanie Irene Garut, Associate of Science, Nursing. Cynthia R. Pease, Associate of Science, Nursing. Jeff Rorlach, Associate of Science, Nursing. Jennifer R. Squires, Associate of Science, Nursing. Kristen Marie Duncan, Associate of Science, Nursing. Lynetta Marie Haugen, Associate of Science, Nursing. Marie Estelle Jensen, Associate of Science, Nursing. Christina Marie Kramer, Associate of Science, Nursing. Lashea Colette McBride, Associate of Science, Nursing. Tracy Satter, Associate of Science, Nursing. Debbie Stoneman, Associate of Science, Nursing. Leslie R. Trainer, Associate of Science, Nursing. Sean Allen Schreiner, Bachelor of Science, Computer Engineering. Rain Charette, Bachelor of Science, Information Technology. James Green, Bachelor of Science, Information Technology. Darren J. Pretty-on-Top, Bachelor of Science, Information Technology. Wesley Dragonfly Fossler, Associate of Science, Information Technology. Glenn Junt, Associate of Science, Information Technology. Mary Adele Rogers, Associate of Science, Information Technology. Charla Brown, Associate of Applied Science, Information Technology. Carrie Fisher, Associate of Applied Science, Information Technology. Alan Moran, Associate of Applied Science, Information Technology, Media Design. Anna Marie Golden, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education. Rose Ann Reed, Associate of Arts, Early Childhood Education. Carol Cullen Bryant, Associate of Arts, Early Childhood Education. Anna Marie Burrows, Bachelor of Science, Elementary Education, and Associate of Science, Elementary Education. Mona L. Friday, Bachelor of Science, Elementary Education. Cheryl L. Madman, Bachelor of Science, Elementary Education, and Associate of Science, Elementary Education. Heather M. Croft, Bachelor of Science, Elementary Education, and Associate of Science, Elementary Education. Rose A. Guruli, Bachelor of Science, Elementary Education. Christy L. Ryan, Bachelor of Science, Elementary Education. Jackie Jo Smith, Bachelor of Science, Elementary Education. Lindsay Everetts, Bachelor of Science, Elementary Education. Brianna M. Lake, Bachelor of Science, Elementary Education. Donna Jo Kath-Looking, Bachelor of Arts, Business Entrepreneurship. Michael A. Kiwenkorn, Bachelor of Arts, Business Entrepreneurship. Kelly Marie Probbins, Bachelor of Arts, Business Entrepreneurship. Rebecca Ann Hendricks, Bachelor of Arts, Business Entrepreneurship. Mary Alice Cole, Bachelor of Arts, Business Entrepreneurship. Spoosman Wilder, Bachelor of Science, Environmental Science, Fisheries and Wildlife, Bachelor of Science, Forestry. Katie McDonald, Bachelor of Science, Environmental Science, Fisheries and Wildlife. Shailene Petalou, Bachelor of Science, Environmental Sciences, Fisheries and Wildlife. Amy Lankford Kaufman, Bachelor of Science, Environmental Sciences, Fisheries and Wildlife. Kayla Keplin Ridgely, Associate of Arts, Business Management. Rhonda J. Pukwasu, Associate of Arts, Business Management. Kachina S. Bison, Associate of Arts, Business Management. Billy Ray Bear, Associate of Arts, Business Management. Tessa Y. Fish, a Bachelor of Arts, Business Entrepreneurship. Jean Lozo, Bachelor of Arts, Business Entrepreneurship. Levi M. Besaw, Bachelor of Science, Environmental Science, Restoration Ecology. Brian Leland Hewenkorn, Associate of Science, Environmental Science, Terrestrial Resources. Joseph W. Elfie, Bachelor of Science, Forestry. Sean Lynn Quiver, Bachelor of Science, Forestry. Carlton Gritz, Bachelor of Science, Forestry. Reba Hawkins, Bachelor of Science, Forestry. Amy Marie Beach, Associate of Science, Forestry. Lisa Patricia Bighorse, Associate of Science, Forestry. Daryl T. Walks Over Ice, Bachelor of Science, Forestry. Amy Lynn Stiffarm, Associate of Science, General Science. Burdette Burdenground, Associate of Arts, Liberal Arts. Miranda Gale Birthmark, Associate of Arts, Liberal Arts. Sasha D. Badbear, Associate of Arts, Liberal Arts. Tashina Big Crane, Associate of Arts, Psychology. Susan Renee Hunter, Associate of Arts, Psychology. Angela Blanchard, Associate of Arts, Psychology. Rodney Sugar Bear Ivan Collins First Strike, Associate of Arts, Psychology. Leah Lynette Runs Through, Associate of Arts, Psychology. Donna M. Derglow, Associate of Applied Science, Dental Assisting Technology, and Certificate of Completion, Dental Assisting Technology. Chelsea Marie Zubowitz, Certificate of Completion, Dental Assisting Technology. Sierra Michelle Hykins, Certificate of Completion, Dental Assisting Technology. Crystal Dawn St. Goodard, Associate of Applied Science, Dental Assisting Technology, and Certificate of Completion, Dental Assisting Technology. Whitney M. Appleby, Certificate of Completion, Dental Assisting Technology. Joseph Yellow, Certificate of Completion, Dental Assisting Technology. Madonna Ray Bordeaux, Certificate of Completion, Dental Assisting Technology. Lisa Left Hand, Associate of Applied Science, Dental Assisting Technology, and Certificate of Completion, Dental Assisting Technology. Tara S. Barnes Albert, Certificate of Completion, Medical Office Clerk, and Certificate of Completion, Office Professions. Tricia F. Kirkaldey, Certificate of Completion, Medical Office Clerk, and Certificate of Completion, Office Professions. Randy M. Mitchell, Certificate of Completion, Medical Office Clerk, Certificate of Completion, Office Professions. Jennifer C. Berryman, Certificate of Completion, Medical Office Clerk, and Certificate of Completion, Office Professions. Lindsay M. Llewellyn, Certificate of Completion, Medical Office Clerk, and Certificate of Completion, Office Professions. Barbara Lopez, Certificate of Completion, Medical Office Clerk. Francine Antwine, Certificate of Completion, Office Professions. Wilbur Joe Usher, Jr., Certificate of Completion, Highway Construction. Frederick Melvin Charles, Certificate of Completion, Highway Construction. Daniel F. First Raise, Certificate of Completion, Highway Construction. Jacob A. Ledoux, Certificate of Completion, Highway Construction. David P. Maxwell, Jr., Certificate of Completion, Highway Construction. June A. Benz, Certificate of Completion, Highway Construction. Pamela Ann Cates, Certificate of Completion, Highway Construction. Jeff L. Vincent, Jr., Certificate of Completion, Highway Construction. Mark Dalkey, Certificate of Completion, Highway Construction. James Hendrickson, Certificate of Completion, Highway Construction. Christopher E. Dumontier, Certificate of Completion, Highway Construction. Blake Herman, Certificate of Completion, Highway Construction. Colt M. Auger, Certificate of Completion, Highway Construction. Tatanka Ska Howard, Associate of Arts, Native American Studies.
Hey, I want to take up a moment of your time. Just because I was the last person to come up here, my name's Tonka Howard. Gave her the hardest name to say, gave her a language lesson there. She got it right, though. My full name is Tatanka Ska Howard. And I'd like to say something to the graduates here, me being one of them, I guess. But if any of you, this is kind of an early morning graduation. It's pretty early this morning, right? But if any of you graduates are like me and you had a deadline of 12 o'clock, you got all your work done at 11:59, stayed up all night for 3 days, crammed it all into one night, a whole quarter's worth of work and graduated, right? Yeah? But the reason why I wanted to come up here and say something is because we don't know what's going to happen next year sometimes. The life is unpredictable. So the reason why I came up here is going to say that. And the problem with being the last person to say something is everybody said the coolest, most inspirational, the awesome words before that came up. But I want to tell you graduates, you're cool. You're awesome. And you rock.
Got to usher him off here. Thank you, Tonka, for those inspiring words. We've asked Vernon Finley to do the closing prayer. Vernon is a cultural language teacher with the Kootenai Cultural Committee. Vernon?
Thank you, Joe. You really couldn't tell. You couldn't tell probably, but from when you all did the applause and the standing ovation for Alec when he got his award, he was embarrassed. One of the things that happens, oh, Tonka, I get the last word. One of the things that is really important in your education is remembering about the past. And a long time ago, the way that the education always happened was by following the examples that were before us. And by that, I mean everything that was in creation. Alec, Pat referred to a lot of the things. Everything that was in creation came before us. Human beings were the last to be created, and we learned by asking asking for help from all of those other things. The birds, the animals, all of the plants, everything that was here before, that's where we get our help. And one of the important parts about how we connect with them and learn from them and get their help is through songs. The songs that are sung for special occasions and the songs that are sung at different times of the day, and there are songs for everything. And we use whatever spirit it was or whatever personality, whatever character it was, those songs describe who they are and what they're about and what they're for. And so with that, all of the people that have gone before us were always aware of that. That's how they gave thanks. That's how they asked for help throughout the day, was with a song. And those songs all came from the spirits and the animals that was before. one of those characters, an important character for you graduates, for those, well, all of us are in transition, like Mr. Kaufman said, but this is a period of transition right now, and one of those spirits that we call on today to help you on your way, to help you on your journey to the next phase, is a character that goes along, just slowly goes through life, but is always going forward, is always not bothering anybody, not a threat to anyone, but continues on. And it's the caterpillar. If you think about it, the caterpillar, he's always busy, he's always in motion, he's always on his way. And the song that he sings is an expression of that, of always going forward. And in it, the song, you can pick up the pace, you can hear the pace that he moves through life, and you can also hear what he also believes, an expression of himself, because he knows that one day, he's going to be a butterfly. He knows that, and it comes through in his song. So with that, graduates, go forward and become butterflies.
We'll remain standing. We'll do our recessional. There's we have a little refreshments up in upstairs in the Camas room. Also invited to the powwow this evening. Our recessional is being sung by the Yaman Suit. So take it away there, Yaman Suit.